Hi everybody! So I thought that I would do another would I buy it video. The last one I did was I think a month or so ago, and I focused purely on indie brands. This time around I'm going to be looking at Trendmood on my phone with 20% battery left, and I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. But like the next would I buy it will be indie focused purely, and then I will do more mainstream releases and back and forth. I had a lot of fun with my last one. I have a lot of fun doing these because I get to see the new releases and I kind of get to just talk about kind of pros and cons, and it's very casual and relaxed. So the first thing I see here is a new eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty. It is the Gold Obsessions palette. Honestly, I really like this. I wouldn't buy it myself, even if I had the money to buy it, because I don't like the Huda Beauty eyeshadow formula. However, I do think the brand does a pretty good job with color stories. I love gold. I love gold. If you've watched more than one of my videos, you've probably picked up on that. I love gold themes, especially in makeup. This is beautiful. I think what's drawing me to it the most is the textures. I think that it's really cool that there's like usually interesting patterns in Huda shadows lately, and the textures just look really appealing. Like I want to touch them. that's the appeal of it to me, is that they look like they would apply like swatch wise smoothly. I wouldn't even necessarily think immediately of putting this on my face. I would just think about doing those beautiful swatches because it just looks like it would be something pleasant to touch and pleasant to look at. I like looking at the swatches. I like looking at the shiny things. I like that there's not an overwhelming amount of like pure gold. I feel like a lot of gold focused palettes kind of do too many pure gold shades and not enough complementary shades, where I feel like this is a really good color story for that. I do feel like I have quite a few similar shades to this, although I'm seeing those sort of like paler pink shimmer shades, which I'm like, I don't really think I have much of that, but it gives me an opportunity to go and swatch and look through what I have to see if I do have those sort of tones, because I think I would like to use those. I'm thinking I would like to use some of those paler pink pearly sort of shades with some grays. I'm kind of thinking those pink colors mixed with more cooler tones like grays, like with the Anastasia Glam palette. I'm really kind of into that again, which makes sense because I'm pretty sure the last time it was trendy was like 10-ish years ago. So I think it's coming around again, those sort of paler, frosty kind of pink colors and grays. There is a Vault from Anastasia. It's just a bunch of the same products just put together in bundles. Doesn't really appeal to me. My least favorite eyeshadow formula that I think I've ever tried is the Anastasia matte eyeshadows. I'm sorry, I know a lot of people love them, but to me, no. There's so many other things. Kylie Cosmetics, Kylie Skin. I like Kylie's general aesthetic, I'm not gonna lie. The whole rosy pink thing, again, that whole pink trend. We have the Bath Collection, 2 candles, coconut, vanilla, and gardenia, rose bath salts, rose body scrub, rose bubble bath, and then there's also an advent calendar. I mean, it looks pretty. I honestly never light candles when I'm in the bathtub. Maybe it's just because my bathtub is kind of small and I don't really have the space to be lighting candles, but I mean, I get the whole like pamper, treat yourself thing, so it definitely is that kind of kit. I can see it really appealing to Kylie's fan base, so it makes a lot of sense. The whole rose theme with the candles, with the whole treat yourself, pamper, that kind of lifestyle makes a lot of sense, but it doesn't make sense for my lifestyle. The Goss Cosmetics has some new holiday stuff. We have an eyeshadow palette, 6 shades, mattes and shimmers, and 2 eye pencils, blue and plum purple. I don't really think I'm the Wayne Goss demographic. Like, I definitely think Wayne Goss's demographic skews a little bit older. And I also feel like it's more of a like classic style. The kind of person I imagine being really into the Wayne Goss style is the same kind of person I would imagine being into stuff like Tom Ford. Just like the very classic, you know, there's no frills with the packaging. It's just very classic and sturdy, and the colors aren't going to be anything crazy. It's just going to be really functional. I do like that it's on the cooler tone side. Again, finally, we're getting more of this stuff, although like, I say finally when it really has been the last like year and a half, we've really seen a lot more on the cooler side of the shadow spectrum, and that blue shade is really pretty, and I do like that general color story. Although from the image, the way that I see it right now, it looks like the grays are kind of similar. It's hard to tell with lighting, and I'm surrounded by a lot of light right now, which also tends to really wash out my camera as well. So, or my phone as well. So I have a hard time really seeing the colors very well. It's usually not until I'm editing and I'm looking at it on the screen, I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, yeah, no, there is a clear difference. But to me, I think there could be maybe like a difference between like the two matte gray shades, maybe a stronger difference, but that's just nitpicky. I can see that it would appeal to a lot of people, although I think because it is a little bit of a darker tone, I could see it kind of also being overused by people as well. The Raw Beauty Christie ColourPop collection. This is really cool. Like aesthetically, I love the whole mushrooms, a forest site. It's beautiful. I know I haven't followed Christie for a while, so I'm not really sure what her general aesthetic is recently. When I followed her, I don't feel like this matches it, but I love that this is it now, because I think that it's really inspiring. I think she nailed the inspiration with the color story for the eyeshadow palette. You know, there's probably just like minor tweaks that I would do if it was like my thing, but you know, again, just being nitpicky. I do think that it's quite possible if you have a large eyeshadow collection, you have a lot of these shades already. Just if you are thinking about it, look at what you already have if that is an issue to you. Let me also say it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster when this launches. It always is with these ColourPop releases, and they never have enough, and people are going to get mad. So I just hope people are realistic, because it's ColourPop and they are going to sell out. It is the way that they operate. They are going to sell out, and then they will magically have a restock a few days later. I did a whole brand focused anti-haul if you want to hear a little bit more about ColourPop, and I still have to do my ColourPop history. I have it all ready to go. Like, I have my whole script. I just haven't gotten around to filming it yet, but I did touch a little bit about some of the tactics ColourPop uses in the anti-haul. So if you're interested in that, don't feel like you have to buy it to support Raw Beauty Christie, because trust me, she's gonna have no issues selling this palette. This palette's gonna sell itself. Like, it's not like she's an unknown influencer. It's not like ColourPop's an unknown brand. It's gonna sell out probably multiple times over until they decide to stop stocking it. So don't worry about it if that's a concern. From my perspective and just my general opinion, I think that support for a creator is a lot more important than necessarily just buying all of their merch and their releases or their collabs. Yes, having a successful collab means you are more likely to have more collabs. I don't have any concern about this not being a successful collaboration. If you are a fan, a supporter of Christie, talk about it. I feel like that's the biggest thing, and that's also probably how she got this collaboration, because so many people were requesting it. And I know she's talked about it a couple of times. I know she kind of like joked about like sponsoring or getting collabing with ColourPop or whatever. And I feel like a lot of people requested it as well. Like, they post on ColourPop's social media and they're like, please collab with Raw Beauty Christie. And they see the demand, so then they're going to be more likely to work with her as well. Like, I would almost bet money that's how it came about, was that she was being requested so many times. So if there's somebody that you want to see get a collaboration with a certain brand, or you want to see them have more opportunities, talk about them, recommend them, tag them, like tag the brand in their posts. Like, there's a lot that people can do, and I feel like the average viewer, subscriber, supporter doesn't necessarily think about those things, but they make a huge, huge difference. Because if there's silence, obviously the brand is not going to know about the person. And I feel like Raw Beauty Christie is very, very popular. She's very well loved, and this collaboration looks beautiful. It's going to do very well, but just be realistic. Be realistic, and don't feel like you have to purchase something if you can't afford it as well, because trust me, it's not going to mean anything on the other end. Like, if you are struggling to pay bills and you feel like you have to spend $20 on this eyeshadow palette because you have to support your fave, like, it's not going to matter in the end to the other side, but it will matter to you. So just something to keep in mind as well, because I feel like sometimes it's easy to overlook that or really get like engulfed in that want and need to support somebody financially when there's so many other ways to do it. I also did a video a little while ago about ways you can support creators without having to spend a penny. So I will see if I can link that video up in the card somewhere. You can easily find it on my channel as well. We have, what do we have here? Fenty Beauty Jelly to Sparkle Formula that glides on smooth like butter. So this is Diamond Balm, hashtag Diamond Balm. I hate Trendmood's formatting sometimes when she's not just clear about what the product is actually called. I'm guessing the product is called Diamond Balm. So we have Rose Rave and Royal Icing. Looks pretty. Also reminds me a lot of Becca highlighters. I don't know what the formula is like, but just color-wise, it reminds me a little bit of Rose Quartz and Champagne Pop. I think I have both. Well, I have like a mini of Rose. No, I have a full size of the Rose Quartz and a mini of the Champagne Pop, or whatever they're calling it now, because I know they've like dissolved their partnership with Jaclyn Hill, so I think they sort of kept the shade but like rebranded it or something. It's very weird. Also, what happened to Becca? Becca was like the it brand, and then they just sort of fell off. And I feel like they were desperate with that no pigment, zero pigment foundation, and they got a lot of attention, but then they just haven't done anything. To look into that, see where they have gone. More Kylie stuff, Kylie Cosmetics, limited edition holiday stuff. Year after year after year. Again, the pink theme, pretty basic. It'll appeal to Kylie fans. I really think that's all she cares about at this time, because she's got such a dedicated built-in support system that she doesn't really have to try hard anymore. Like, she was part of the whole ColourPop Seed Beauty family. I'm going to talk about this too, which is why I'm just so fascinated by it. Like the tactics they used in order to market the initial products to build such hype and success for it. Crazy. Anyway, at this point, I don't feel like she's going to try or like do anything super innovative because she doesn't have to. And I'm not even sure how involved she is with the brand anymore since it's changed hands so many times. But yeah, I feel like it's more of like a name thing, and they're going to be safe. Which makes sense. Holo Taco, that is, I'm not into the whole nail polish scene. I watched a few of the videos of Simply Nailogical. I had to like click and find the name because I couldn't remember what it was. I've heard really good things about her polish formula. I haven't been intrigued to buy it. I haven't been painting my nails in so long. I would put nail polish on and then like the next day I take it off because I just haven't been motivated. Now I haven't bought new nail polish in a long time. So I do feel like with all the new stuff that's out there, I probably would have a lot more fun buying stuff, but I just, to me, I just haven't. I have so many nail polishes from the years of collecting them and when I was like a julep subscriber. Remember those when julep boxes were a thing? I had so much nail polish from that, and I was like an OPI addict. I had so much nail polish from that, but I feel like there's so many better formulas and new things, and I really like metallic things as well. I've talked about that a few times. That Sift silver one, gift receipt, sterling polish is packed with silver metallic foil. That looks like something that I would really love. I love silver chrome metallic kind of polishes, so it looks good. I mean, and the price seems good, $13. $65 for the whole box of all of them. So it seems like the price is good, if the product is good. Winky Lux Cheeky Rose blushes. They look so cute. Oh my god, I'm a sucker for like flower prints and things, but that also means that I don't want to use them. Like I will look at them and I'll be like, this is so pretty, I don't want to use it. Like I don't want the pretty flower to go away. The blush shades themselves don't look really too different, although that neutral mauve Dodgy I like. Brilliant Knickers Dodgy Crown and Tea Time. Oh, maybe it's the pink that I like into. Tea Time. Cool toned light pink. I probably wouldn't want to use these though, to be honest. I feel like it's really cute. I would just end up looking at this. I would not use it. I'm just gonna be completely honest with myself. I would think it's pretty. I would use it maybe once. I would take a few photos of it, and then I'd put it away and probably end up forgetting about it till years later when I dig it out of whatever drawer I put it in, and I'm like, oh, you're right, remember this. Can't use it because it's probably expired, but it sure is pretty. Oh dear, I'm such a sucker for those things. Jamie Genevieve has a brand called Vive. That's funny. I actually just started watching some of her videos. Like I watched her a couple years ago, back when she was friends with Samantha Ravndal. I think that's how I discovered her the first time. And then I stopped watching, and she was recommended in one of Alana's videos. And she talked about how she picked up some tricks from her. So I went and watched that video, and then I started watching some of them, and I was like, oh, like she knows what she's doing, and she has some pretty good tips. And her brand looks like Tom Ford. That lipstick packaging looks identical to Tom Ford. Is that allowed? Can you do that? I guess. Okay. I mean, I know other brands have sent like cease and desists before for similar packaging, but maybe it's not able to be copyrighted. Who knows? Looks, again, this is sort of like, I imagine the kind of same person who would be into the general aesthetic of like Wayne Goss. Tom Ford would be into this. Not me, not my style, but there's a new eyeshadow palette from Beauty Bakery. This is the Sugar Cookies palette. Okay, I don't get sugar cookie vibes from this palette at all. Like, the packaging is really cute, but I don't get sugar cookies. Like, when I think of something called a sugar cookie, I really do think of more of neutral tones, like a sugar cookie palette that was themed after browns and beiges, and that's what I picture when I think of sugar cookies. I don't think of various shades of blue. Like, if I was gonna do color, I don't even know if I would. No, like, I'm still stuck on this like vision of these beautiful neutral tones for a sugar cookie. I know like icing and everything else, but I think of sugar cookies in like Christmas, so I think of like red and green more than I think of blue. It's just a weird color story for what it is. And when you look at the packaging outside is so plain. Like the sugar cookies and the milk, like it's pretty. I just don't get, the name and the color story don't match. Like I feel like it should be called something else. I saw this, Jefferson. No. That just looks ugly. It just looks ugly. Like, yeah, green shadows, great, but not this. Not this. I really don't think he has any idea what he's doing when it comes to color stories. I know people say that the product is good, like the end result is good. I've never tried the eyeshadows, I can't speak on that, but people have said that they're good, fine, but I don't think he has a sweet clue about how to put together an appealing, functional color story. It just is like a mishmash of stuff thrown together. It's not very appealing. Please don't, please don't. Okay, I'm just gonna say this. I don't care. Go unsubscribe, thumbs down this video, whatever. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. Don't support this man. Don't support this brand. There are so many other brands worth supporting. So many brands that have green eyeshadows. So many indie brands that could really use the support and the love right now who have wonderful green eyeshadows. Sydney Grace, Luxie Beauty, Kylie Cosmetics, M Cosmetics, like these are the first ones that are coming to mind from things that I have, but there's so many others out there. Please, if you're thinking about green eyeshadow, go somewhere else. Just go somewhere else. Do not, you don't need to. There's no actual reason why you need to support this man. I'm trying to get through this as much as possible, and there's a lot of like spam ads in here for like Trendmood box and like repeat sale plugs and stuff. James Charles is gonna have a makeup brand. I mean, I'm not surprised, but also why? It's a touchy area, right? Because it's good to see new product, it's good to see new inventions, and maybe I just feel like there's so much, and because it doesn't necessarily appeal directly to me, that I'm less like over it, but you know, okay, well, we'll see what he does. All right, so I'm gonna wrap it up pretty soon because I feel like I've done enough rambling. Huda Beauty has a palette with a bunch of pressed glitters. I really hate pressed glitters. I mean, I love glitter. I love glitter. I love applying glitter all over my face. I will apply glitter everywhere, but pressed glitters and palettes are so incredibly frustrating. Pressed glitters in general are frustrating because I feel like they're difficult to use. I like to have my loose glitter in a jar so that I can kind of control it a little bit more. Like I will tap like my glitter into the cap or to another surface or something, and I can mix it nicely and apply it that way instead of having to like dip into the pan, and it just makes a mess on top of the eyeshadow palette, and I'm messy with it anyway. And you know, I mean, it looks pretty. It's, you know, multi-reflective pressed glitters. It looks pretty, but like I would never buy this because I would hate using it. I would make such a mess out of using it, and I would use it probably twice and then end up putting it away. But it is pretty. I just want to see more like multi-chromes and even more unique duochrome sort of shadows, reflective shadows that are just pressed powder shadows, not glitters. I'd really like to see that more. Okay, yes, phone, I know you're dying. What can I end this on? Oh, seems like a good one to end it on. There is the Major Glow Face Gloss, She Gives Me Life from Huda Beauty. So I got to see this first. I was one of like 200 people that were in a masterclass because I got invited to a Huda masterclass via Zoom. It was so amazing. I took notes. So I have like 3 or 4 pages of notes in my notebook, and I recreated the look, which I posted on my Instagram as well. And it was such a cool experience to like watch Huda go through all of the steps that he takes and how he applies things and just how like effortless things were. And he also showed a sort of like sculpting brush that hasn't been released yet as well, which was really cool to see and see how he used it. And just like being a makeup artist and creating a makeup line and creating products, like he is working on so many different faces and he knows what is needed to create certain things, and it was just so fascinating watching it come to life. And I watched this product in particular and it looked so beautiful. My only thing is I hope it's not like sticky, because I hate that sticky feeling. But if it was just more of like that reflective sort of like glossy thing, it looks so beautiful. And like watching it being applied, not in person, but kind of close, it was really cool. So this is like a good one to end on, because this is definitely something that I'd love to buy, but it's $38. And I don't know if I have, you know, a spare $38 right now. Maybe if it doesn't sell out, because it is limited edition, maybe it doesn't sell out and I get like a Sephora gift card for Christmas, maybe that's the thing I would buy as like a treat yourself kind of thing, because I don't have a face gloss. When I do glossy sort of makeup looks, I use just like lip gloss, which is horrendous. I have to immediately take a shower after taking photos because I just can't stand the feeling. So like to have an actual product that was made to be a face gloss would be really cool for those sort of more like artistic editorial kind of photos and looks and things that I like to do. So on the wish list of like everything that I talked about here, this is probably like the one thing that really intrigues me the most, because it's not like anything that I have. So anyway, that is all for this video. I had a lot of fun talking about this. I really have just been trying to like bring some life back, because it's been a rough couple of weeks. I've talked about it a little bit, but stuff like this is really fun because it's really just relaxed and I get to talk about things. So anyway, let me know if you have any other video suggestions, recommendations, requests, ideas, whatever. I would love to hear from you. Let me know what you think about any of these products. Are you buying any of these things? Do you want to buy any of these things? I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are, and I hope we get a chance to chat soon. Bye for now.